Hi everyone, I'm Lyndsy. I am a current client of Steve's for Steve Hall Revive Stronger. Just kind of giving a message on working with Steve and what I've done and the progress I've seen and the accomplishments we've made as a team. A little bit of background. My story is a little different than I think the usual clients in that I came to Steve already having lost weight over the last 5 years. Um, I really considered myself fairly well read over 5 years. I really, really enjoyed reading and learning about new and old training concepts. Not unlike a lot of Steve's current clients and followers on Facebook. Um, and a lot of that knowledge came from Steve, which obviously is what drew me to him as seeking out an online coach. Um, so basically, a year and a half ago is when I first started reaching out to Steve and talking to him. I knew I was under eating for what I was doing training wise, and my weight was staying the same though. So I was like, well, we'll just leave it like that. But finally, 6 months ago, I moved from the United States to Australia and still knew I was under eating and needed to make the change to it. And so I'm the type of person that if you tell me what to do, I'm going to do it. So I really needed an expert in Steve to tell me, yes, you're under eating and yes, you're training too much. So this is what we're going to do. And the relationship only got better from there. Basically, Steve took me through a reverse dieting journey. Um, what we did was work every week or 2 weeks to increase my caloric intake from, I think I was eating about 1,200 calories a day, to now I'm at maintenance at 1,750, which those 550 extra calories are amazing. I can't even explain it. But overall, Steve really understood my previous journey and the mental issues that come along with someone who's been obese basically their entire life, or at least 15 to 20 years of their life. Um, he understood exactly how to best reverse diet this and take it slow and steady and not jump too fast, too soon, too far. Um, it was just it was an amazing journey. The caloric increase really only took about maybe 2.5 months, and then we went into maintenance and started working on other goals like flexible dieting. Really just being more flexible and being able to live life better with friends and going out and understanding how to eat out and how to manage without a scale and eyeball and just really be flexible and be able to live. Steve was an amazing coach for all of those aspects. In regards to the training, he said, well, how about, we focus on this. What are you interested in? What do you want to do? These are some ideas. But really, as the client, what do you want to do? And so he really he led me, but he let me really make the choices, and he structured everything around that. And so extremely easy to work with, extremely just super attentive, super helpful. Um, we had weekly check-ins, and those were just awesome to have. You make them as long or as short as you want them within reason with him. Um, it really allowed me to voice concerns and changes I was seeing and changes I wasn't seeing. One of those primarily being that I did not gain 1 kilogram over the course of the caloric increase, which is just such a mental win in itself. I don't even think I have to explain that to someone who's been overweight or just worried about increasing calories and what it can do. Um, I've maintained the same weight since I got to Australia and been able to add, 600 calories to my daily intake, which is just awesome. Not to mention delicious. Um, like I said, extremely attentive coach for being online. Overall, basically, this culminated in one big final test that I put on myself, and that was a 6-day guided hike trip to Tasmania, where I was out of cell phone range, no internet, nothing for a whole week, no food scale, because we had our backpacks, and so there were only a limited amount of things we could pick to carry. Was I perfect at it, at being able to flexible diet and just go with the flow? Absolutely not. It's definitely still a learning process and a journey for me. Personally, I still track to the best of my abilities, but I knew I needed to eat more. I knew I needed to try and eat intuitively, and I think I really succeeded at those. And it was Steve that brought me to that point of being able to just jump and make that huge leap of faith in myself. Truthfully, I can't speak more highly of Steve as a coach and as a friend. He talked to me a year and a half ago before I was even paying, and really truly showed that he cared about my health. And even like the first email that I had with him, he was already concerned about that. I knew I was under eating and what I could do. He just as a person is an amazing person. The whole group, he has the other coaches and the group moderators, fantastic people to work with, fantastic people to go to as well. Steve himself, always responsive. He always comes through on his promises and his deadlines. He says, your check-in day is this, I'll respond by then. If he's goes on vacation, he's extremely lets saying, I'm going to be offline for Friday to Sunday. If it's an emergency, you can contact me this way. Otherwise, Mark is available, or etc. Or the group. The group overall is extremely attentive and answering too with when he's gone. Like I said, his co-coaches and just the team that he has chosen to work with, and they're just the most supportive people I've had the pleasure of knowing and working with, and look forward to continuing to work with. But like I said, Steve, hands down, one of the most knowledgeable people I have ever worked with. Cannot say greater things about him or the work that he's done for me and helped me with, and I just look forward to continued progress for him and for me and for the team. And I highly recommend him for anything you're looking for, whether it's weight loss, maintaining, just any type of coaching, bodybuilding, etc. Just a fantastic person, coach overall. Highly recommended. Thank you, Steve.